Alright folks, it's time to play some Civ 2. Here we go. Customize world, I haven't done that one. Let's see. Well, start new game. Oh, it takes me all to the same place. Alright, well, I always do the largest map I can. So 10,000, that's 100 times 100. So, there you go. This is a game where you're trying to take over the whole world. And the larger the world, the harder it is. So that's what I do. And this is the toughest level. That's what I go with. I'm not going to reload in this game. Many people do reload, but I will not. And most likely, this will be a very interesting game because of that. 7 civilizations. That will also add to the difficulty. Those are the civilizations I'm competing against for ownership of the world. And then these barbarians, you can do different things with them. I like to do the villages only. You can get like technologies out of the villages. The technologies, they're what you need to develop your armies and your buildings and be able to take over the world more quickly. You can also get military units out of the villages. You can get money. And you can also get barbarians who will attack you. But villages is my preferred choice, so that's what I'm going to take. That did not make the game harder, by the way. That made the game a little bit easier, but it's just the way I've always played, so that's what I do. I'm going to customize the rules a little bit. I prefer the drawn-out combat, which is just like a second longer. Simplified just means that you attack somebody and they either disappear immediately or they prevail and they stay there and you disappear. Flat world means that you go to the edge and you have to turn around, I think. I've never really played with it, so... select computer opponents, we're not going to do that. Accelerated startup, not sure what that means. Probably that the years go by faster would be my guess. Bloodlust is my preference because spaceships kind of, I don't know, I just always play with Bloodlust. It's to me it's more fun to try to eliminate all the other civilizations versus launching a spaceship. And then don't restart eliminated players. I mean, if you killed off their civilization, they shouldn't get to restart anyway, so... I'm going to go with male. I'm going to go with the Americans. Well, we're going to make it custom here. We're going to go with huge green truck. And we're going to go with the mutilated couches. And there's definitely a story behind this. You'll be learning that as we go. And these guys are condemned. So, there you have it. I prefer this Bronze Age monolith. So there I go. Alright, so this is our start. We're the leader of the mutilated couches. Well, the huge green truck is. And we have some technology here. I mean, the first 3 technologies you always get are irrigation, mining, and roads. We've got alphabet, bronze working, code of laws. Those are pretty good. More technology you have, the better units you can build, the better buildings you can build. Your cities are that much more powerful. And that's what this game is, building cities and trying to build your civilization of cities into the best in the game, best in the world. So here we go. Alright, well, this is not a bad start. Let me think about this. Customize my world. It's as large as it can be. I think this is good. We'll see where this goes. And I'll just warn you, I'm going to play a little bit quickly, so I'll probably make mistakes, which is okay. Just makes the game more entertaining for you guys to watch. I don't know how much depth I should go into this game. Most people have played Civilization. They know. This section right here answers all your questions. The very basic concepts. You have your terrain types. You want to build your cities on good terrain. And you have all these different ones. Like glacier is horrible. You don't want to build your city on glacier. But like grassland, plains, those can work. Then these special terrains that'll give you bonuses like the whales. If you're near a whale, you get extra trade, extra shield. The trade lets you get your science and your tax so that you can discover technologies more quickly or you can get more money. and you can use money to buy units or buy buildings. Sometimes you can use it to buy off of barbarians who are attacking you, or you can use it to buy off enemy cities with diplomats. It's a military unit you can build. Um, but anyway, I don't know how much explaining I really want to do here. I really want to just play this game, but at the same time, I want people to kind of, in case they don't, for some reason, I want them to understand what we're doing here. In case more than 2 people watch this video, which there's a high likelihood that won't happen anyway, but just in case, uh, you have all these different technologies that you're working toward. Um, Remember, we started off with some of these, like we started off with alphabet. We started off with bronze working. So if you click on it, it shows you you can get currency and iron working once you get bronze working. And you can build the flanks once you have bronze working. And when I start off the game, I like to try to progress toward monarchy. It's a different type of government, and it makes the terrain, the squares, a little bit better. Um, you have to have these 3 technologies to get it, so it's not hard to get to, and it's way better than what you start in, which is despotism. Despotism is pretty horrible, and I guess it's not even listed here because you can't research it. I mean, you know it immediately how to be a despot. So you control your tax and science over here, and when you're in despotism, your max you can go is 60. In monarchy you can go to 70, which is not that much better, but the terrain spaces, these squares, they produce more trade and food and shield in monarchy, so that's why it's good. But I'm going to get started. I really like to try to look for some kind of a barbarian hut, because you can get a military unit out of it in the beginning, and they can explore for you early on, which is helpful. But it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to find one, which is kind of unfortunate. And actually, this is beginning to look like a game that I would reload. I'm not liking the look of this. This space is extremely good. This is a wheat. I believe it's wheat. It looks like corn, but I think it's wheat. If you go to the terrain types, yeah, wheat. So it gives you extra food. You build your city on there, you get a bunch of food. I'm going to go ahead and restart this though. I've built a script that allows me to reload very quickly, very easily. So I'm going to reload a few times and see if I can get a better start than this. This wasn't a bad start, but it's not a. I don't. Ah, shoot. I don't want to make you guys wait through those reloads, so I'll just go ahead and play here. This guy is going to build a city right here. There you go, Washington. Oh, crud. Well, we've got to rename that city. I mean, Washington, no doubt, is a great name. But for the theme of this game and the story that I'm trying to tell, name this city the 2. Because the 2 is a place where me and 3 of my friends used to live. And it was an awesome bachelor pad. We had some great times, so I've got some good stories to tell that'll keep me narrating versus going quiet and being boring, which is my natural inclination. Warriors, most horrible unit in the game, but they do reduce civil unrest, and they can be used for exploring, so I do like to build them. Later on, as the city grows, when it hits 2, it will get its first unhappy citizen, and so you can build a warrior to keep that guy happy. And then if your city gets defended, well, the warrior's probably going to get killed anyway, but he can go out and explore and find barbarian huts and stuff. So there you have it. You've got some choices here. You can choose to produce a little bit more. I like to try to get to the next size as quickly as I can, because that way you can use an extra space, versus if you do this, then you're just, I mean, it takes forever to get to 2. So that's what I do. Now, monarchy, actually, you'll get an extra space on this guy, this square here. In that case, I actually do choose the forest, because in that case, you're growing fast enough. But when you're only growing 1, I don't really care for that. So, all right, that's enough of that. Alright, so if you'll remember, ceremonial burial is the one that gives us monarchy. Monarchy, there we go. So we're going to get ceremonial burial. That's what we're going after. And what do you know? As soon as I gave up, I see one. Alright, well, let's go see if we can get some help. Sometimes I like to leave them there and not disturb them because you can come back later and get something better out of them. At this point of the game, you're almost guaranteed to get a military unit, but like later points in the game, you can get it can turn into a city for you. It can be a team of settlers. It can be a large amount of money, but at this point, it's probably going to be a military unit, money, or an advance. Probably, I'm going to guess this will be a military unit. And it's weeds, so that means I don't get anything. And that really sucks. That means I wasted a turn. But life goes on. Alright, so where is my next city going to be? Well, guaranteed it's not going to be on this mountain. That would be a horrible place to build a city. The nice thing about building it on the river is that you get to move along the river and you don't lose. Like ordinarily, you move one space at a time, but the river allows you to move at 1/3. So I can move 3 spaces at a time, which is really good. So let's see, I could build it here, or no, I can't build. You can't build a city right next to another city. It's got to be at least 2 squares away, 2 terrain spaces away. So I could go here or here. If I go here, yeah, I think I'm going to go here. So some people don't like to build their cities next close to each other, but I do. And man, I wish I could use. So that's iron, and that'll give you more shields, but unfortunately I won't be growing if I do that, so that's not a good option for me. So here you go. And now we wait. Oh, we've discovered something. There you go. And there's monarchy. That's what we're after. Alright, so now I've got a guy I can explore with here. Gosh, where do I even go with this guy? Alright. Just having a look around. Well, there's the end of the river. You know what? Screw this game, I'm starting over. I've given a good explanation of how to play. You've gotten to see it a little bit in action. And now I'm going to go after like a real game, because this game is looking very bad. You need to be able to produce stuff. I've got this iron square, but beyond that I don't have anything unless I mine these hills, which would take forever, mine the mountains, which is not good. Your settlers can mine stuff. So at this point, I'm going to run my script. And it's just going to make all the same selections I've already made. Just speeds it up. And this is an even more horrible start. When you only get these 3, I mean, there's no way we're taking that. There's a buffalo. He's a good space for producing shields. So let's go again. I promise I won't do too many runs here, but I would like to get at least a decent start if I'm going to play for like an hour or so. And I apologize for you guys having to sit through this, but okay, alphabet ceremonial burial, that's pretty good. Bronze working will be needed later, so that's good. And that is horrible. There are no trees, no buffalo, no anything. I won't be able to produce jack squat. I mean, production, so each of these train spots produce a shield. The shield is how you build things in your cities. And so if a train spot only produces 1 shield, or 0 shields, as in the case of this all green spot here, that means that it's going to take you forever to build things. And so I don't really like that situation, and so I'm not going to allow it. And I know that earlier I said I wouldn't play with reloads, but this is not what I consider a reload. This is getting a decent start and then playing from start to finish without reloads once you get your start. So this is a good start. I'm 1 discovery away from a monarchy, because alphabet, ceremonial burial, and code of laws are the ones that you need for monarchy. And I've got some forest, so yeah, this looks good. Let's play this one. I gotta get up there and get that hut. Guess if I build, I'm going to build on this spot because building on this spot, this plain green spot, will cause it to produce a shield. Otherwise, it would never produce a shield unless you transformed it or mined it. So I got to get going here. I'm taking too long. All right, so this guy. All right, I've discovered some horrible explorers, but they're better than nothing. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so the bachelor pad has been created. It's the capital of our world, and yeah, we're building some warriors. Surprise, surprise. Straight to monarchy. That's wonderful. This guy's gonna go here. So this guy's gonna go across. Looks like we're in the far north part of the world, which is interesting. Okay, so this guy, what will this one be? Let's do $100 rent. That's how much my friends and I paid for rent. And this was in the late 90s, so I mean, we just had a really good deal because we were living with the landlord's son. And so the landlord's son had one of the rooms, and because of that, we were his friends and we got a really good deal, and we were always deeply appreciative for that good deal. This guy is changing to a settler. I've now got this city that can build warriors, and I know I said I don't like to do this, but if I can get extra science for doing it, I will. And then I'll just make this city build the warriors for the other city, because this other city, when it gets to 2, it's going to revolt, and I don't like that. So when they revolt, they won't do anything. The only thing you can do with them is make them an entertainer. They won't use a square. They just cause trouble, so it's better to deal with them by putting a military presence in the city, even a crappy military presence like the warrior unit. Alright, so here we go. I really should have found another one by now, and I didn't. That troubles me. Ooh, that's a really good spot. So that produces shields, but it looks like I don't have anywhere to build a city around there. Yeah, because it's surrounded by jungle. So it's a useless spot until later in the game one of my settlers can transform it. Alright, so here's monarchy. Awesome, we got monarchy. Doesn't look like this is going to be an island. I go for writing. Writing allows you to, so I do want to begin a revolution. I do not want to be in despotism anymore, and I'll have to go through anarchy to get to monarchy. Oh, I got to go right to monarchy. That was very lucky. Sometimes you have to wait like 3 or 4 turns before it'll finally give you that selection to choose monarchy. So now we're in monarchy. Doesn't change anything I'm doing. Well, changes this one. I'll change him to that. So yeah, this guy, golly. So I guess I could build a city here, be able to use it. Let's go have a look at the science advisor every 7 turns. So that's not great, but all right. So this guy is headed here. Is he going to make it in time? Yes, it looks like he will, because when this fills up, the very next turn, I will have a rebel on my hands. My city will grow. So here we go. Oh man, where does this? Oh, well, he's found the coastline. Not necessarily a bad thing, but all of this jungle is, I mean, it's not great. The jungle is horrible. All it does is produce 1 food, and I mean, oh boy. All right, well, enough complaining for me. I gotta get on with this game here. All right, so I'm gonna support this guy from this city, because if you support all your units from one city, then they start to take up shields. Each unit will take up a shield, and then you can't produce anything because you need your shields to produce stuff. So he's gonna stay here. He's got to, because they're gonna grow soon. So oh, I found a river. That's good. I'll go here. Oh, that wasn't a good move, but oh well. So here I am. I'm navigating the river, and here's this guy. All right, so in 4 turns, and he'll be built in 4 turns. So it's safe to go explore with this guy. I'm going to go do some more exploring. Uh-oh. They grew. So when they grow, you have to kind of help them understand what to do. In this case, they made the right choice because they got 12 shields left, so that's 3 turns. Even if I were to give them an extra production, they'd still take 3 turns to finish these settlers that I have them working on. And settlers can build new cities. You saw them earlier, so I'm not going to go through that. Golly, this is a hard... So that river ends there. You can tell that by the way the terrain looks. There's a little green space at the end. It seems like it ends right there, so I'm going to go here. And surprisingly, I still have not found another barbarian hut, which concerns me a little bit. This guy probably will find one, we hope. Alright, there's some writing. What's next? Well, various things. This one won't be it. This one I'll need later, but not yet. This one I'll need later, but not yet. Actually, I am going to go after bronze working. That can give you flanks. It gets you on the way to building caravans. Caravans help you build wonders of the world. Wonders of the world help you in the game. And one of them, the Hanging Gardens, turns one citizen in every city happy, which is extremely helpful. There's some other good ones too, and we'll see them later on. Good grief, there's nowhere to build a city up here. I mean, this is a good space and this is a good space, but I mean, you need some grassland or some plains or something, and you're not having it. All right, going again. So those guys finally built settlers. Settlers won't be around long. Just build more settlers. Where is this guy gonna go? Finally. All right. You start making my way toward that one. That's my best hope. And these guys can now build settlers. You can build a diplomat. They can do some different things. When you meet other civilizations, they can steal technologies. They can investigate the city. They can... you can use it to buy the other city if you have enough gold. There's various things they can do. I like them because they get 2 movement and they don't cost you a shield for upkeep because they're not considered a military unit. They ignore zones of control. So I like to use them as explorers. That's why I got that. Barracks, we're not building that. It's just, I don't even know. I never build them. Veteran ground units. I guess that's not horrible, but I'm not doing it. Temple is to help with the unrest, but there's a wonder we'll build later that will take care of that. At least that's my plan. Library increases science output, but it takes way too long. And we're going to build more settlers. So settlers it is. I forgot to fortify this guy, unfortunately. And fortify means they'll defend against an attack a little bit better. Still exploring, not finding anything. This game is not looking that good, really, but I'm going to stick with it. Mysticism, that's useful. It lets you get to philosophy. Philosophy, once you discover it, gives you a free advance of your choice. I mean, based on what you can actually research. So that was it. So these guys, all right, so now I have a decision to make. I'm going to go, golly. If I go this way, there's a good chance it's the end of the road. I'm going to go this way, I guess. All right. And it's time for him to build a city. I just push the B button to build. It's the easiest way. And we're going to have a city called... Oh, we already got... So, Green Truck. Green Truck is the key to this bachelor pad that my friends and I lived in. It's one of the keys anyway. And you'll learn more about that later. But this truck was awesome. It was green. It was big. I'll stop talking about the truck now. We'll build some warriors. always a good choice. Not really, but man, I want to go up there and see if that's the end, but at the same time, I'll head back up there later, I guess. Okay. We're doing some exploring here. Well, that looks like the end of the road here. Let's make sure. And sure. And plus, the other thing is, when you clear out this fog of war, so to speak, or whatever you want to call it, you can reveal spaces that might have whales, and whales are totally awesome. You want to have whales. So, uh, see, there's a whale. So that's probably the next place I'll build my city, although it's kind of far away. And this is also a good space. But we'll build another city to use that space. I like to build my cities close together. Helps you develop the land more quickly. You don't have to spend time later irrigating and mining. Although once you get to the end game, you have to tear down some of these cities because you want to get your cities as big as you can. But at the beginning of the game, the more cities you have, the more you can produce, the more you can research, the faster you can get to things, and the better chance you have of beating your enemies that are sitting out here somewhere doing their own building, because they won't build their cities together, close together. So these guys built warriors. I'm going to let them build settlers. More cities. And I forgot to fortify him. That's a classic mistake. I keep forgetting I can just push the F button and fortify him that way. Ooh, another whale. Ooh, and it's by this. Well, we'll build a city here to use this and a city here to use this. Unfortunately, this city over here is going to be tough to get to. For later on in the game, you get caravans to help build your wonders of the world, and you need roads. And I'll have to build roads over all these. Oh no, that's not good. I did not realize my computer was plugged in, and this computer is 14 years old, so when you see the battery indication, you know that you're right near the end of your computer life. Like, I'm surprised that it didn't die on me right there. And now there's a cat here. It'll be a distraction. Okay, I gotta get going here. I can't waste this time. All right. So this guy over here. Man, I want to have how these guys are gonna build warriors. Because I'm gonna have these warriors go up there, because I think this guy's gonna go down and find more stuff. So he's gonna go here. I'll have to figure out the city. See, I already figured that out. Oh, I saw something. Did you see it? I saw it. This. Okay, so this is an instance where they made the wrong choice. By putting them on that square, they can be done in 3 turns, but they want to be here, be done in 4 turns. They grow a little bit faster, but I prefer them to be done in 3 turns because I want to get as many cities as I can as quickly as I can. It's beginning to look like I may be on an island, which means I may not need. I don't think I'm going to need. Where did I go? Here. Change him back to settlers. This is going to be an island. All right. Let's give him some predetermined orders. That's another thing. You can, instead of moving them one at a time, you can like pick a spot on the map and hold down on it, and they'll go to it. All right, $100 rent builds settlers. All right, so these guys, put them over there. They're gonna grow next turn anyway, so, and they can keep building settlers till the end of time. Where do I want him to go? I guess this is the next logical choice. Eventually I'll have to start building roads, but we're not to that point yet. The 2 build settlers. Wow. I'm going to... yeah, you can build settlers here. quickly as possible. So these guys, they're going to head down here. Or should they go there? Yeah, you're going to have to hold out here. Did I forget to? No, I didn't. This cat is trying to be on my lap. I have a laptop on my lap. This is not going to work. It's very persistent. It's a persistent animal. And I see it has found a way, which is going to slow this down. I'm sorry for whoever's watching, but this cat it has to make its own choices. So a city here, or here. Doesn't matter. Cat is now on my lap, which will make it harder to type. And hopefully it doesn't do any keystrokes, the cat, because that would be problematic. Yeah, you're going to have to do something. All right. So we're going to have him head. I'd like to build him on these little points. So that's where he's going. All right. Sorry this is taking so long. I'm moving as fast as I can. If I were playing, just to have fun and be relaxed, I would be playing much more slowly. Map making allows you to build triremes, and triremes, if you're stuck on an island like it's beginning to look like this is, will allow you to get off the island, which eventually you will need to do. So map making it is, and the cat has left. Sorry, kitty. All right, time to build a city. So I hit the B button, and we will go with Paul's victims. There you go. And that's what the green truck did for us. Victims are not human beings. They're inanimate objects that we like to have a little bit of fun with. And you'll learn more about that later. But for right now, we lived at the 2. One of the guys there had a green truck, a huge green truck, and it hauled victims that were not human beings. And we paid $100 rent. So these guys grow. Oh, look at this. They grew, so you can't have that. They'll make the wrong choice. So this is a strategy that one of my friends disagrees with very heatedly. I like to pay 4 gold, and then that way it gets them to the point where they've got if they're producing 5, they've got an even number of turns that, like a even number of turns left, or not an even number, but like a non-decimal number, whatever that would be. I'm showing my lack of intelligence here, but be that as it may, these guys now have 8 turns left to build these settlers. And if I hadn't spent 4 gold, they would have 9. So I bought a turn for 4 gold, basically. And now the cat, who I did mention